Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good day everyone, welcome to today's seminar on English language teaching. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'm Feni Jannati and I have the pleasure of being your moderator today. I will be guiding you through each sessions of this event, including the presentation and interactive discussion. We are honored to have four distinguished presenters joining us today, each of whom will share valuable insight related to our seminar. Allow me to briefly introduce them. The first is Bintang Kusuma with the topic Ethical Challenges in the Utilizations of Technology in Education. The second speaker is Liya Anggraeni with the topic Students' Perceptions toward the use of AI tools in language English writing. The third speaker is Serena Atma Karsono with the topic The Students' Perspective on the Use of Digital Tools and Mobile Applications on English Language Learning among Students at English Education Department UNTIRTA. And the last speaker is Ahmad Habibullah with the topic Using Poetry as a Tool to Nurture Students' Mental Emotions of English Department Students 2022 in Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. Okay, let us begin the presentation sessions. First, we would like to invite Bintang Kusuma to deliver the first presentation. You have approximately 15 minutes. The time is yours.
Ya, oke, thank you moderator. Langsung aja ya. Okay, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Bintang Kusuma, and I would like to present our research on the ethical challenge that arise from the use of technology in education. And this topic is especially relevant today as more classroom move online and digital tools become a part of everyday learning. Ya, bisa langsung di next slide aja. Yeah, okay. The first is introduction. In today digital age, education have been transformed by technology. Tools like Google Classroom, Grammarly, and ChatGPT have made learning more easily flexible and personalized. Students, especially English language learner, can now study independently and improve their skill anytime and everywhere. However, the rise of educational technology also brings new ethical corners issues like data privacy, academic dysfunctionality, digital inequality, and academic bias. Unfortunately, many students and teachers are unaware of this challenge, partly because institutions often lack clear guidance or policies. In this study, we aim to identify the most pressing ethical issues, understand how they affect both students and educators, and provide recommendations that promote fairness, integrity, and responsibility use of technology. Bisa next slide lagi. Okay, now is the literature review and theoretical framework. Based on previous research, there are three key technical concerns. The first, data privacy. Many platforms collect sensitive student data such as location, personal information, and learning behavior often without clear information users. And the second is academic integrity. Tools like ChatGPT and Grammarly can blur the line between sport and plagiarism, causing confusion for students and teachers. And third is digital divide. Equal access to device and stable internet creates unfair learning conditions, especially for underprivileged students. In a theoretical framework, to analyze these issues, we use two ethical framework. The first is deontological ethic, which priests, duties, and rules from the perspective intuition have a duty to create clear guidelines for ethical technology use. And second is utilitarianism, which look at outcomes a tool ethical if it benefit more people and minimize harm. And the last is previous studies. We also refer to previous studies. The first is from Holmes, discuss the dangers of unclear police. From Beans, explore how algorithmic bias can reinforce inequality. The last is from Reagan and Jess, warn against the lack of informed consent in student surveillance. Okay, next slide. And now it's about research methodology. Research design, I use a qualitative research method to explore students' life experience and ethical challenge in technology use. This approach helps us gain deep insight into how students navigate these digital dilemmas. The participants for the research is our participants were English department students. I use purposive sampling to select students who were already using AI tools and online platform in their studies. In data collection, I conduct semi-structured interviews and focus group discussion. Both online and in-person topics include data privacy, AI usage, academic honesty, and intentional support. For data analysis, thematic analysis was used to identify recurring themes. Some keywords they emerged: AI dependency, data misuse, and access inequality. Next slide. Okay, finding and discussion. For this finding from this analysis, I identified three major ethical concerns. The first is data privacy. The second is academic integrity, and the third is digital inequality. For the impact, this uses significantly affect student academic experience. Is the fear of being unitary, reduces engagement, unclear rules about AI created anxiety, and limited access to technology because equal learning outcomes. To link to literature, these findings support what previous research have said. For instance, Cotton et al. Discusses how AI tools bring ethical confusion, means emphasis inequality caused by business system. Our participants include this concern from students' point of view. Next slide, please. Okay, the last one is conclusion and recommendation. In this conclusion, in a summary, students face serious ethical challenge in digital learning, especially concerning privacy, integrity, and access. Many of these problems don't come from bad intention, but from a lack of intentional guidance. And from a recommendation is point one is the clear policies. Intuition so create clear ethical guidelines for AI and digital tool usage. Is the second is the training regular to help student and teacher understand digital ethics, and the last is access improvement. School must invest to reduce the digital, such as providing sites for or internet support to digit student in need. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Thank you for your attention. I hope this research can help raise awareness and include ethical digital practice in education. Okay, back to moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, Bintang Kusuma, for your presentations. Next, we move to our second speakers, is Liya Anggraeni. Please proceed with your presentation. For Liya, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good day, everyone. My name is Liya Anggraeni from Group 18, Class 6A. First of all, I would like to say thank you to all of you for taking the time to attend this seminar. Today, I'm honored to present our research project, which I conducted together with Feni and Jannati, titled Students' Perception Toward the Use of AI Tools in English Learning, English Writing. The study is part of our final project for the seminar course. Let's begin with the research background. In recent years, students widely use AI tools like Quillbot and ChatGPT to improve grammar, paraphrasing, and idea generation. Many enjoy using these tools to enhance their English writing by checking grammar, changing sentence structure, and offering new ideas. As a result, writing becomes quicker and easier. However, there is a downside. Overusing AI may weaken students' writing skills, critical thinking, and raise plagiarism concerns. If used too much, students might stop thinking independently. Their skills may not grow, and they risk plagiarism by copying AI content without understanding or editing it. Educators play an important role. They should guide students to use AI properly and recognize its limits for learning. Teachers must show how to use AI responsibly while making sure students still develop their own writing skills. Next slide, please. Now let's move on to our research focus. This study is guided by three main research questions. First, what are students' perception of AI tools in learning English writing at FK UNTIRTA? Second, how do students use AI tools to assist their writing process? And third, what are the perceived benefits and drawbacks of using AI tools in writing? Based on these questions, we established following research objectives. The first objective is to explore students' perception toward the use of AI tools in writing. The second is to examine how students utilize these tools to support their writing process. And then the last is to identify the perceived benefits and challenges of AI tools in writing. Next slide, please. Now I will explain the theoretical framework, starting with AI in language learning. First, AI tools improve English writing. They help students by checking grammar and spelling, giving feedback, and helping to develop content. For example, Grammarly can correct grammar errors to make writing clearer. Second, students need digital literacy. To use AI tools effectively, students must understand how to operate them. If they don't, they may not benefit fully. That's why schools need to include digital skills in the curriculum. Third, successful AI integration needs proper infrastructure and teacher training. Good internet access and appropriate devices are required, along with teacher skills. Without this, the use of AI in education cannot be optimized. Next slide, please. According to Jean Piaget cognitive constructivism theory, learning is active. Piaget believed that students don't just absorb knowledge, they build it through interaction and reflection. They link new ideas to existing knowledge or adjust their thinking if something new doesn't fit. Second, AI helps improve writing strategies. When students receive feedback from tools like Grammarly or ChatGPT, they may keep their original writing or assimilation and revise it or accommodation. This helps them become better writers. And then lastly, AI support reflective learning. It encourages students to think about and refine their ideas, promoting growth and cognitive balance. That's what Piaget called equilibration. Next slide, please. The opposite from Jean Piaget theory, Lev Vygotsky's social constructivism say that learning is social. Vygotsky believes students learn best through collaboration and support from others, such as teachers, peers, or even AI tools. Second, AI tools support students in the zone of proximal development. They provide the right amount of help, like correcting grammar or offering writing tips. So students can improve beyond their current level. And then AI feedback builds long-term writing skills. Frequent use of AI tools helps students internalize feedback and apply it independently in the future. Next slide, please. Okay, let's continue with the technology acceptance model. First is perceived usefulness. Students are more likely to use AI tools if they believe these tools help improve their writing. Perceived ease of use is also important. If the tools are easy to understand and operate, students will feel more confident using them. And then adoption factors influence acceptance. These include past technology experience, school support, and peer influence. One of the studies we review is from Rosmayanti 2024, which focused on students' attitudes toward AI tools. Firstly, AI tools help writing. Tools like Grammarly and ChatGPT provide quick feedback and help students write more effectively. Secondly, students benefit and face risks. They gain confidence and fluency, but some rely too much on AI or misunderstand how it works. And then there is limited research in Indonesia. Most studies are from Western countries. More local research is needed to understand Indonesian students' perspective. Next, please. Let's move on to the research methodology. We use qualitative method with a phenomenological approach. This means we aim to understand students' real-life experiences. And then we selected students from the 2022 English Education Department at FK UNTIRTA using purposive sampling. And then for the data collection, we use questionnaire and interviews. The questionnaire gave general insight, while interview provide deeper personal perspectives. And then after that, we apply thematic analysis. This helps us identify common patterns and group them into meaningful themes. Next slide, please. Now let's look at the main thing, which is results and discussions. Starting with students' positive perception of AI tools, many students value the quick feedback as it helps them learn more from mistakes right away. They find the tools easy to use, even for those less familiar with technology. AI also helps organize ideas by supporting brainstorming and structuring. Its personalized features allow students to focus on specific aspects like vocabulary or sentence flow. Most importantly, AI saves time by handling basic corrections so students can focus more on content and critical thinking. On the other hand, students also express some negative perceptions. Some worry that relying too much on AI weakens their ability to write independently. There is also a risk of plagiarism if students copy AI content without editing or reciting. Inaccuracies can occur, especially on complex topics. Others feel the writing sounds too robotic and lacks creativity. Lastly, some students are concerned about privacy when sharing personal information with AI tools. Next slide, please. All right, students use various AI tools to support their writing. You can see on the screen there are Grammarly, Quillbot, ChatGPT, and Copilot. Grammarly corrects grammar and improves clarity. Quillbot rewrites sentences in a more academic and or fluent style. ChatGPT helps generate ideas and outlines, while Copilot assists in summarizing and improving clarity. For the writing process, AI is used at different stages. In pre-writing, students use it to plan and outline. During drafting, AI helps with grammar and vocabulary. Some also use it to expand text, though this may reduce depth. In revision, AI assists, but originality concerns still exist. Right, next slide, please. Now let's talk about the benefits and challenges. The benefits of AI tools include real-time feedback, which helps students improve and become more independent writers. Students also notice clearer structure and better organization in their writing. AI boosts confidence and autonomy as they grow less dependent on others. However, challenges exist. AI suggestions can lack context and sometimes don't fit well. The writing may lose emotional tone and feel robotic. Too much reliance on AI can weaken critical thinking and originality. There's also a risk of plagiarism due to limited awareness of digital ethics. And then AI struggles to capture uh, cultural depth in writing. Next slide, please. So, in conclusion, AI tools can significantly enhance students' writing. They offer instant feedback, help with organization, and support learning. However, over-reliance on these tools can reduce creativity and threaten academic integrity. That's why educators should promote AI literacy, encourage balanced usage, and raise awareness of ethical considerations. When used wisely, AI tools can be a powerful aid or a powerful friend, supporting skill development while uh, preserving originality and independent thinking. Okay, that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for your engaging presentation, Tia Anggraeni. Now, let's welcome Serena Atma Karsono to share their insight. Please begin your presentations.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Serena Karsono, and together with my partner, Reviana Azzahra, we are from Group 19, Class 6A of the English Education Department at Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. Today, we honored to present our seminar paper entitled The Student's Perspective on the Use of Digital Tools and Mobile Applications on English Language Learning among Students at English Education Department UNTIRTA. Next slide, please. In recent years, the rapid development of digital technology has dramatically changed how students approach language learning, especially English. Applications like Duolingo, Grammarly, and YouTube are now widely used by students to support their learning process. These apps are not only accessible but also provide interactive, engaging, and flexible experiences. They allow users to learn independently, anytime and anywhere, which makes the learning process more personal and convenient. However, despite these advantages, we also found that there are still challenges that hinder the effectiveness of mobile-based learning. These include unstable internet access, limited features in versions of the apps, and students' lack of discipline in maintaining consistent study habits. That's why this study is important to better understand how students actually perceive and utilize these digital tools in their real learning situations. Next slide. In this study, we focus on three main research questions. First is, how do students perceive the use of mobile applications in their English learning? Second, what are the challenges they face while using these digital tools? And the last is, how do students incorporate these apps into their daily English learning routines? Next slide, please. Based on those questions, our objectives are also threefold. We aim to explore students' perceptions, to identify the challenges they face, and to examine how mobile applications are being integrated into their daily practices. This will help us gain a holistic view of the role of digital tools in English language learning from the student's perspective. The next slide. Significance of the study. This research holds significance not only for students but also for educators, app developers, and curriculum designers. By understanding the real experiences and preferences of students, we can help create a more inclusive, engaging, and effective digital learning environments. It also emphasizes the need for proper support from both institutions and teachers, especially in helping students stay motivated and use these tools in a more structured way. For the next slide. In the first part of our literature review, we discussed two key concepts. First is digital language learning. With the support of technology, students gain more flexible access to learning and materials, and interactive features such as videos, podcasts, and games help maintain student engagement. And the second is concept mobile assisted language learning. This concept focuses on learning through mobile apps anytime and anywhere. Apps like Duolingo or Memorize are designed with gamified features, instant feedback, and contextual learning, which significantly improve motivation and retentions. And next, we also reviewed relevant studies and theories. Previous research shows that mobile learning tends to be more effective than traditional classroom methods, especially in enhancing vocabulary, grammar understanding, and speaking ability. We also refer to four main theories. Vygotsky's social constructivism, which emphasizes learning through interactions. The technology acceptance model, which explains that users are more likely to adopt technology that is easy to use and beneficial. Self-regulated learning, which highlights the importance of goal setting and self-monitoring, and finally, cognitive load theory, which reminds us that effective learning happens when content is delivered in manageable segments. Next, this research used a descriptive qualitative method. We selected students who had been using mobile apps to study English for at least 3 months. In the next slide, please. Data were collected through semi-structured interviews and analyzed using thematic analysis based on the steps from Brown and Clark. To ensure the trustworthiness of the data, we used triangulation, member checking, and kept an audit trail during the research process. Next slide. Let's move on to the results. We found that most students had positive perceptions toward mobile applications. They enjoyed the flexibility and the ability to learn at their own pace. Apps like Duolingo and Memrise were seen as fun and motivating due to their gamified features. Many students also felt that using these apps made them more confident in practicing their English, especially in speaking and vocabulary. However, they still saw these apps as complementary tools, not as a replacement for classroom learning. Despite their benefits, several challenges were also identified. Students often struggled with unstable internet connections, especially when the app required real-time content. Many also mentioned that they could not access all the features because they were using the free version of the apps. Over-reliance on translation tools like Google Translate was another issue, as it sometimes prevented deeper understanding of grammar or context. Some students lacked self-discipline to study regularly without guidance, and a few still preferred learning through physical books. The last result is daily integration. In terms of daily integration, students had different habits. Some used apps during spare time, such as commuting or in between classes. The notification reminders, points, and strict system help them build study habits and stay consistent. However, distractions from social media and the demands of academic schedules often reduce their focus and motivation. Students who practice time management, like using planners or the Pomodoro method, were more likely to stick to their routines. For the conclusions, mobile applications positively support English learning by making it more interactive, accessible, and personalized. They allow students to study independently, boost their confidence, and engage with language in more enjoyable ways. However, the success of mobile learning depends on various factors such as internet access, app design, and student discipline. Therefore, the role of institutions and teachers remains crucial in guiding students and ensuring that these tools are used effectively. With proper support and thoughtful integration into their learning system, mobile applications can be a powerful tool to enhance students' engagement and language skills. So that concludes our presentations. We hope this research can provide meaningful insights into how mobile applications influence students' English learning experiences. Thank you very much for your attention and time. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggestion, we will be more than happy to hear them. Once again, thank you and have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you Serena Atma Karsono for that thought-provoking presentations. And finally, we invite Ahmad Habibullah to close the presentation sessions with your topic. Please, Ahmad Habibullah.
Okay, thank you so much for the moderator that give me the chance to speak. Okay, we continue to our slide. Yes. At the first slide. Okay, so good day, everyone. Thank you so much again for the great opportunity that I can speak in front of you today. Well, allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Ahmad Habibullah. You can call me Abi. So today I'm going to represent my research title on the paper is using poetry as a tool to nurture students' mental emotion, which is focuses on the English student department at Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa in 2022. Okay, we go to the next slide. Go to the background side. Yes. Okay, so we can see here about our background. So our background that I mentioned here is according to university students face emotional challenges, particularly when working on their thesis. Many experience stress, fear of failure, and then even emotional burnout. These mental pressures can interfere with their academic performance and also personal well-being. So I hope this research is based on the idea that poetry can act as reflective and also therapeutic outlet. It allows students to express and process their feelings, helping them regulate emotions in a healthy way. The next slide, please. Okay, on the next slide is talk about research question. So what's kind of the thing or the materials questions that we going to give and also receive for the informations that we expected to receive. Here, the first one is how does the use of poetry as a learning tools influence the mental emotions of English department student at UNTIRTA in 2022. We guided that our study with the two main questions. At the first, that, and the second is does the poetry or poems created express the mental emotional state of the student? Well, these questions allow us to look at both of the impact of writing poetry based on the emotional message express it themselves by reflecting as the students' emotional mental issues. The next one. Okay, the next slide, please. We go to research object. Our research object is where to explore how poetry writing influence students' mental emotions and to understand their emotional state through the poems they're created. By achieving this objective or achieving this purpose, we hope that show how the poetry could be more effective than academic. It could be the tools also for the emotional health. The next slide, please. On the practical thing and then the theoretical contribution encourages educators as well as in institutions to consider poetry as a supportive method for student emotional well-being. So based on the theoretical, it is to academic literatures connecting the mental health and then educations and creative writing that effectively showing how poetry can serve more than one purpose in university setting. The next slide, please. On the theoretical framework, how we manage and also the ways that we give it orderly to express our research method in here. It's our theoretical framework. We use three theories. The first one is mental health theories, which is focusing on balance and resilience. And the next one is emotional theory. So emotional theory is which is sees emotionals as drivers of behavior. And the last one is poetry theory. So the poetry theory is a talk about viewing poetry as emotionals and educational expression. So together, these three help us understand how poetry writing could help students manage emotions, and enhance their mental well-being. The next slide, please. Okay, we jump to the poetry and the mental emotional. So what is the poetry and the mental emotional? So poetry helps students reduce stress, regulate emotions, and express thoughts they found difficult to share verbally. It provides a healthy and also creative outlets for emotional release. So students also reported feeling more empathic and also connected to others, creating the sense of community, and then they can express emotional understanding among peers or other students. The next slide, please. We go to our research method. In our research method and also some finding here, we use a qualitative phenomenological approach to focus on the student lived emotional experiences. So we found it like the participant is 30% of English department student from the 2022 cohort participated. So we conducted semi-structured interviews and analyzed their poems using thematic analysis to identify emotional patterns and responses. The next slide, please. How we found it, and the next slide is a talk about the key findings and also the result as they have come after we do the research. Yes, the finding here. The finding. The next slide. Yeah. So the students share that poetries help them express emotions like anxiety, and then the pressures, and then the fears. So for instance, we mentioned the names like Safiras and Deo here use poetry to process stress, while Serena and Liya become more emotionally self-aware. Actually, so other students like Dimas and Rafi say poetries help them connect with the peers emotionally, and then creating sense of shared experience and empathy. So that's it. The next slide. So we encourage to all the readers and also the audience that poetry as the motivation. So poetry was also used as motivational and accounting tools. Zaja used rhythmic writing to reduce anxieties. And then the Farhan said it helped him avoid burnout. And the Lutfi used it to keep a positive mindset. So this poetry shows the poetry's help not only with emotional expression, but also with a self-regulation and a mental endurance during academic pressure. Okay, we continue to the last sections of explanation. Yes, so the next slide is the conclusion. So in my conclusion, poetry serves powerful emotional tools for students. It helps them express, understand, and manage their feelings during stressing time in their education. So we recommend that educators considering integrating creative tools like poetry into academic programs. So I think that's all what I can speak. Thank you so much. We go back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ahmad Habibullah, for sharing your ideas and research with us. Okay, the next is Q&A sessions. We have now heard all 4 presentations. We will process to the question and answer sessions. This is your chance to interact directly with our speakers. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and mention your name. Okay, Laila, please.
Thank you, moderator. I have two questions from different speakers. The first question is about utilitarianism for the first speakers, Sir Bintang. So the question is, how is utilitarianism utilitarianism used to evaluate the use of technology in education. And for the second question is for Miss Serena. The question is, since mobile apps offer flexibility and self-paced learning, how do you think teachers should be positioned their role in a digital learning environment like this? Should they step back or become more effectively involved? I think that's my two questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Laila. Anyone else? Yes, Revi, please.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Reviana Azzahra from Group 19, and I have a question for Group 18. So, it was interesting to hear that students often use AI during the pre-writing stage to generate ideas, but some students rely on AI all the way through the final draft. So what do you think about this? How can students be encouraged to still think and write on their own?
Okay, thank you, Revi. Maybe the last questions. Anyone else? Yes, Andreas, Rendy.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Is my voice clear enough, guys? Is my voice clear enough?
Yes, yes.
Uh, First, I have a question for Group 20. The question is, in this study, how do you ensure that that use of the reflective poetry writing method fully enhance students' critical thinking skills rather than just their creative writing abilities? Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions. There are three questions from the Lailatul Fatihah, Reviana, and Andreas Rendy. Okay, uh, four speakers are welcome to answer the questions.
Okay, I will answer Refi's question. So the question is, how can students be encouraged to still think and write on their own, right? That's a good question. I think using AI in the early stages, like planning or getting ideas, is helpful. But if students use AI for themselves, for everything, they might stop thinking by themselves. To help with this, lecturers can give writing tasks that need personal opinions or experiences, which AI cannot create well. Also, lecturers can ask students to explain how they use AI and what changes they made to the AI suggestions. This way, students will stay active in the writing process and not depend too much on the tool. That's it.
Okay, I see. So, the key is to make sure students still give their own thoughts, not just copy what AI say, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the point. AI should support, not replace their thinking. Do you get it? My answer?
Okay, thank you, Liya.
Thank you, Rafi.
I will answer Laila's questions. The questions is, how do you think teachers should position their role in a digital learning environment, and do they have to step back or become more actively involved? I think that's a great question. Thank you for the great questions. Even though mobile applications provide students with more flexibility and independence, I believe the role of teachers is still very important and even more relevant in digital learning environment. Instead of stepping back, teachers should adapt and guide teach students in using these tools effectively. For example, they can help students choose the right apps based on their learning goals, monitor their progress, and give feedback that the apps may not be able to provide, especially in areas like writing quality or deeper speaking accuracy. So rather than being replaced, teachers should become facilitators and mentors, helping students stay motivated, consistent, and focused in their learning journey with digital tools. I really appreciate your question. Thank you, and I hope my explanation was clear and helpful.
Oh, okay. That's a very clear explanation. Thank you for the explanation.
Okay. May I answer the question from Rendy? The next one. It's talk about the method of the poetry writing. Yeah. It's a hand a student critical thinking skills and also creative writing abilities. Of course. So the answer is for sure. We employed the qualitative approach here of the what is it? Reflective poetry writing. It's collecting data through observations and documentations of a student's poetry writings. In the analysis, we refer to critical thinking indicators such as polarities, relevance, and then the depth, and of course, the logic. So the improvement in the critical thinking was measured by how the student were able to connect with the poem's themes to their personal experiences and then analyze issues and convey their views in depth rather than just through linguistic beauty. So thus the answer is of course like it's successful, right? Successful. That not only solely just by the poems as aesthetic, but also by the depth of reflections and the thought expressed in the writing. So I hope my answer is fulfilled, satisfied to your the good question.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Maybe for the last, I will answer question. How is tourism used to evaluate the use of technology in education? But I think tourism assess wherever an action produce the greatest good for the greatest number of people. In this context, the use of technology is considered ethical if it brings more benefit than harms to students and educators. Maybe there's no explanation for me. Is it clear?
Okay. Can I repeat your answer to answer your answer? Utilitarianism support the use of technology in education if it maximizes overall benefits and minimizes harms for the greatest number of students and educators. Is it right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you to the audience who asked questions, and thank you also to the speakers who answered. Now we have come to a special moment in our event, the certificate of appreciation. Okay, wait. As a token of our gratitude, we would like to present certificate to our distinguished speakers who have shared their valuable knowledge and insight with us today. Okay, the first certificate present to Bintang Kusuma. Thank you for your inspiring presentation. Your contribution is truly appreciated. The next is a certificate present to Liya Anggraeni. We are honored to have learned from your experience and ideas in today's sessions. And the third certificate is present to Serena Karsono. Thank you for bringing a fresh perspective to our discussion on English language teaching. And the last is a certificate present to Ahmad Habibullah. We truly value the practical insight you have shared with us today. Here is your certificate of appreciations, which will also be sent to you via email shortly. Okay, we are now reaching the end of our seminar. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all four presenters for the valuable knowledge and perspective shared today. We also thanks all participants for your enthusiasm and attention. We have this seminar has been insightful and will inspire further truth and actions in your respect field. Thank you once again, and I apologize for any mistake during my times as moderator. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.